When I was 11, I signed up for the youth rodeo. I wanted to be a real cowboy. One Saturday, we're at the rodeo. I'm standing outside the rodeo arena. I hear this loud crash. I look over, there's a 2,000-pound bull jumping over the arena fence. Like, it's loose, tearing down the midway toward the carnival. People are everywhere, running around, trying to get out of the way. And then, out of nowhere, this cowboy, Bruce, he's chasing after this bull on his horse. He's like Bruce Wayne, Bruce Willis, and Bruce Lee, all rolled into one. Swinging a rope above his head, ropes that bull by the horns, pulls it all the way back in the arena. It was awesome. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. That next weekend, my mom, Lisa, she's taking me to Bruce's ranch. She got me a job there, working with Bruce. He's going to teach me how to do that and compete in the rodeo. First thing he says to me, "Boy, why don't you go get your horse, saddle him up, meet me in the arena?" I said, "Yes, sir." "Yes, sir." "No, sir." Like, my mom always saddles my horse. Like, I've seen her do it like 50 times. What am I going to do? How hard could it be? So I go get Joe, my horse. I put the halter on him. I'm 11 years old. I lead him to the horse trailer, tie him up, get his saddle. It weighs as much as I do. There's no way. Set it down. There's a feed bucket under the trailer. Pick it up, flip it upside down, get the saddle. I step up on that bucket. Oh no! I can do this. You can do this. Take a couple steps back. I get a running start. I step up on that bucket, fling the saddle in the air, and it drops on Joe's back. I got it. You got it. I cinch it down, put my foot in the stirrup, swing the other one around, and I ride into the arena. Something's different. I'm different. Like, I'm riding taller in the saddle. I'm finally feeling like a real cowboy. Nobody is a real cowboy until you saddle your own horse. And for 5,000 years, that's what we've been doing. 5,000 years, millions of people around the world have saddled horses and ridden off into the sunset. Well, today, more of us sit in the grandstands watching the rodeo riders. It's hard to have that same comfort. It's hard to have that same sense of adventure and cowboy spirit, right? When we're sitting in the grandstands, driving around in cars that have four wheels that drive themselves. We love our comfort and ease. So much that, get this. Over the next 3 years, we're projected to spend $8.5 trillion globally on self-care. $8.5 trillion. Even after spending all that money, though, almost 8 out of 10 of us are going to say we feel burnout at work. What if we're not burnout? What if we're bored? Adam Grant says psychology has a term for this. It's called bore-out. You're not burnout, you're bored out. You know the feeling. Empty, exhausted, overwhelmed by your day-to-day to-dos. But it's not because you're over-obligated. It's because you're not doing deep down inside what you know you can do. We all thrive in a culture of personal responsibility, in an environment at home, at work, and in society where every single one of us saddle our own horse. We know what we need to feel fully engaged and at our best. We do. There's three things. First, do you feel a sense of choice in what you're doing? Second, do you feel effective while also challenged by it? And third, do you feel like you're able to make a difference? And if you answer no to any one of those questions, it's probably because, as Sebastian Junger writes in his book Tribe, modern society has perfected the art of making people, meaning you and me, not feel necessary. And I believe the way we can make people feel necessary is we have to start asking more of them, not less. because that's when we show up as our best, both collectively and as individuals. Like in 2003, in my hometown of Deschler, Nebraska, when we banded together to clean up after a tornado took out half the town of 900 people. Seen the movie Twisters? Yeah, happened in my town. Or during 9/11 in New York. You would think after something like that, prescriptions for anti-anxiety and antidepressant would go through the roof. Didn't happen. There was no increase in meds. In fact, get this, suicide rates dropped 20%. Murder rates dropped 40%. And that's why it's so frustrating for me when I walk into companies, consulting with the leadership teams and working with salespeople, and nobody's saddling their own horse. I go talk to the managers, and they're like, yeah, the employees, they just don't get it. And then I go talk to the employees, and they're like, yeah, the managers, they just don't get it. So nobody gets it? Who's got it? Here's the thing. They will never get it until you take responsibility for what's not working for you. Because without personal responsibility, all we have is entitlement. And we definitely don't want to create cultures of entitlement. What we want is to create extraordinary results together. Recently, I was downtown Kansas City at the Kauffman Center listening to Walter Isaacson get interviewed about his new book on Elon Musk. Look, however you feel about Elon, I get it. That night, Walter said something that stayed with me. He said, Elon gets people, Elon drives people crazy, but Elon gets people to do the impossible. And when he was writing the book, he shares this story when Walter was walking the floor of the Tesla plant, and he runs into this employee, and he's like, I thought you quit. And the guy's like, yeah, I quit. But after 9 months, I was so bored, I begged to come back. I would rather be burnt out working on a mission with Elon than bored doing my own thing. This is what happens when you create autonomy the way Elon did. When you create an environment where every single one of us saddle our own horse. Another guy doing this is restaurateur Will Guidara. He helped create a Michelin 3-star restaurant with something he calls ownership programs. Will says the time to give people ownership is before they're ready. Before they're ready. So what does he do? He walks up to a 22-year-old kitchen server and he says, hey, how would you like to run the beer program? He gives the kid a budget, teaches him how to order it, how to do ordering, how to do inventory. And when the kid learns the ropes, he's like, it's yours now. Go make it awesome. That 22-year-old kid created one of the best beer programs in America. He goes on to become the general manager of the restaurant. This is how you develop people. Stop asking, are they ready? Were you ready? None of us are ready. We got to give them a horse to saddle, get out of their way, and let them take it on. So you remember when I was 11 years old, I saddled my horse for the first time? Well, now I'm 17. I've been competing in the rodeo for several years, and I am the best saddle bronc rider in the entire state of Iowa. Well, I was until this other guy, Shannon, showed up on the circuit. Now, we're towards the end of the season. I've lost the lead. I don't know if I'm going to get it back. Well, tonight, 9 other riders have been bucked off their bronc. 9 other riders, including that guy, Shannon, 0 points. I'm the last guy to go. I'm not getting bucked off. The perfect ride is 100 points. Half the score goes to the rider. The other half of the score goes to the horse. And tonight is my shot. I know it. Tonight is the night. I'm going to pass that guy, Shannon. I'm going to get back into the number 1 position and get myself in a position to win my 2nd state championship tonight. I'm standing behind the chutes. I've got my boots, chaps, spurs on, protective vest, cowboy hat. Danger Zone from the Top Gun soundtrack. It's playing. I climb over the back of the chute. Sit down in that saddle. I put my feet in the stirrups. I nod my head. That gate flies open. Nothing. That horse just stands there. Finally, he takes a couple steps out in the arena. I hear the buzzer. I'm walking back behind the chutes, and I look up, I scored a crummy 43 points. But I just won. Number one. No, not like this. I go up to the judge. I'm like, do I get a rewrite? He's like, you won. I know, but the rules say I can get a rewrite. Yeah, I know. If I get thrown and I get bucked off, I get 0 points just like everybody else. I want the rewrite. All right. So they bring me another horse, a big black Mustang named Dirty Jacket. I'm putting on my saddle. It tries to bite me. I know everybody in the arena thinks I'm absolutely crazy. Thunderstruck by AC/DC is playing. I climb over the back of the chute, sit down in that saddle, I put my feet in the stirrups. I lean back, I nod my head. That gate flies open, Dirty Jacket bails out of the chute. Boom. Like I'm barely holding on. Boom. I hear the buzzer. The crowd is roaring. And I look up, I scored 73 points. This is what it looks like to create a world of champions. That's the world I want to live in, where every single one of us gets to play full out. That's what I want for me. It's what I want for my 3 daughters, Claire, Sophie, and Thea. And it's what I want for each and every one of you. We can create that world together. But it starts with you saddling your own horse. Thank you.